Let's work together to create a colorful chameleon. Today, we are going to read a story and create art. Our story is called A Color of His Own by Leo Liani. In the story, our friend doesn't always feel like he fits in. Our friend is a chameleon. Chameleons are lizards that change color. Let's learn more about our friend's journey. Parrots are green. Goldfish are red. Elephants are gray. Pigs are pink. All animals have a color of their own, except for chameleons. They change color wherever they go. On lemons, they are yellow. In the heather, they are purple. And on the tiger, they are striped like tigers. One day, a chameleon who was sitting on a tiger's tail said to himself, "If I remain on a leaf, I shall be green forever, and so I too will have a color of my own." With this thought, he cheerfully climbed onto the greenest leaf. But in autumn, the leaf turned yellow, and so did the chameleon. Later, the leaf turned red, and the chameleon too turned red. And then the winter winds blew the leaf from the branch, and with it, the chameleon. The chameleon was black in the long winter night. But when the spring came, he walked out into the green grass, and there he met another chameleon. He told his sad story. "Won't we ever have a color of our own?" he said. "I'm afraid not," said the other chameleon, who was older and wiser. "But," he added, "why don't we stay together? We will still change color wherever we go, but you and I will always be alike." And so they remained side by side. They were green together, and purple, and yellow, and red with white polka dots, and they lived happily ever after. In the story, our friend is sad because he's different, but he looks for a friend who understands him and likes him for who he is, because they're pretty similar. The lesson we can learn from this story is just that. It's okay to be different, and there's probably someone who has a lot in common with you. Now it's time to draw our own colorful chameleon. Remember, you need a paper, something to draw with, and something to color with. You can draw on any kind of paper with permission from your family. You can draw with any paper you have at home. I chose a half sheet I had left over from another drawing. Now, you need to pretend that there are two imaginary lines dividing your paper into 4 sections. Imaginary lines mean we don't actually draw them on. I put them on just to show you where we would imagine them. I still have my imaginary lines up for you to see. We are going to start drawing in the top right section. Here we will draw our chameleon's head. It will start on the imaginary lines, almost like the letter L. Let's check it out. As you can see, I removed our imaginary lines. In the picture on the left, I started with the letter L. In the picture on the right, I added a curved line from point to point to create my chameleon's head. Now, as you can see, I've added my chameleon's body and legs. Because my chameleon is being seen from the side, the legs that are behind are smaller and not totally visible. Now my chameleon has a tongue and part of the tail. On the next slide, I'll show you how to start at the tip of the tail and come around to finish it. In the first picture, you can see that I followed the directions from the last slide and finished my tail. In the picture on the right, I added a habitat. Remember, a habitat is where an animal lives. I chose a rock in a forest filled with vines. You can make your chameleon live anywhere you'd like. Once you've finished your habitat, you can add color. Keep in mind, a chameleon doesn't have a color of its own. A chameleon camouflages to fit the colors around it. Because my chameleon is surrounded by a leaf-filled forest with vines that are green and brown, my chameleon's color is similar. I can't wait to see the cool chameleons you make. I hope you had fun creating your chameleon. Miss you!